Good afternoon from beautiful Whispering Pines in Port St. Lucie. Dawg and Pizzle in the house. I'm Rob, aka the Dog Father, the Dog and Pizzle.
I'm Pizzle, otherwise known as Mark Diaz.
And we're welcoming our guest, Blake Casino, to the show today.
Good. I appreciate the invite.
So tell us a little bit about who is Blake outside that 44 by 20.
Ooh. Well, outside of pickleball, still work a 9-to-5 job. My most important thing outside of pickleball is my daughter. That's a big part of my life, being a dad. And
How old's your daughter?
she's 11.
11.
And what type of work do you do outside of
I
pickleball?
work with a currency exchange. I was
Nice.
dealing with currency for travelers and people going in and out of the country.
What does that look like?
I had the company for 18 years. When I started with the company, I was a courier. So I was physically transporting U.S. dollars to other countries and bringing back their currency.
You used to carry like suitcases of cash to other countries? That's crazy.
A lot of fun, a lot of wild stories.
Yeah.
with it. But it was a good time, really good experience. Got to see the world. There's a lot of different areas that's provide like awesome stability to the job, which is why I don't think I could ever go to pickleball full time. There's that guarantee, especially for my daughter, to know like everything's taken care of. But when I'm out here doing stuff, it's very tempting to be like, make the jump.
Were you ever in like any unsafe situations?
What's so funny is when you travel, regardless of what you're carrying, it's on you. You know what you're carrying. Otherwise, it's just suitcase to airport, right? You look just like everyone else. So unless you like go around telling everyone, it's much simpler than people think. But it's that pressure you put on yourself. Everyone's looking at me, but got over that really quick. Good experience.
How much do you travel?
Now, not as much. Back then, like when I was doing that, and just travel internationally, maybe once a year. Domestically, maybe 5-6 times, little trips throughout the year.
Okay.
When I was doing that, I was traveling every 2 weeks internationally. But the flights, it was work, not vacation. So it's like be on a flight for 18 hours, touchdown for 12, back on a flight 18. Quick turnarounds, really quick turnarounds.
What brought you to pickleball?
December, bored out of my mind. Really good buddy of mine, Kevin. We were sitting around looking for something to do. Went online, saw World Open Pickleball hosted at Verano. And I said, what the hell is pickleball? And why is there a World Open happening in Port St. Lucie? So we went over, watched it. Anna Lee, very young Anna Lee was there. Really good players, really good competition. I was like, oh, this looks fun. Let's try it. Pull up my phone, find local courts, Whispering Pines. But it was back before we had these courts. It was back on our far tennis courts where we had just 4 line nets and everything. Went to Dick's, bought paddles, went out, came here, played. This is kind of fun. And within a week, came up with Big Dill as a club initially. And we just started inviting our friends. Because I've always believed people have something they commit to rather than just that text. They'll stick with it a little bit more. And really started pickleball here at Whispering Pines. There really wasn't many people at all. And we had Monday and Friday nights. I got with Carrington Tennis X. And he approved set games on Monday and Fridays, and I made a website, made all that, started pushing it out, and started playing pickleball.
Prior to pickleball, what sports did you play?
Prior to pickleball, it would have been mixed martial arts,
Okay.
Brazilian jiu-jitsu, American kickboxing. Prior to that was rugby.
So don't if you see Blake on the court and he's like out, you think it's in, it's out.
Not only is his shot lethal, but also is his reverse chokehold.
The mixed martial arts and jiu-jitsu, all that, and people think physicality, it's more of technique.
It is technique. And I have more injuries from playing pickleball
I was going to say,
like I've ever had
Then
before.
beating each other up in a ring.
but pickleball, people think they have to have, and as the game has grown and become with the technology and so forth, kind of more of that power. At the same time, though, it is more of that technique.
Doesn't matter who you talk to at a high level or any coach, they're never going to be like, oh, rip the ball. If you have an opening, you could control it, rip it. But first thing is always going to be placement over power.
And it's just so you don't go at somebody 100 miles an hour because they're going to size you up and then do what they need to do. In pickleball, a higher skill player, you go at them 100 miles an hour, they're going to size you up, and I know where to put the ball.
This is easy. You can hit hard and you'll get passive shots, but aggressive play, which is what everything's going towards, right? Faster, harder shots. But aggressive play, being aggressive doesn't mean power. It could be aggressive with spin. You could be aggressive with direction. You could be aggressive with pressure. All of that doesn't equate to power. Power absolutely comes into play, but it's not everything.
What do you think is the right, like when I know when I speed a ball up, most of the time I lose the points. What do you think that percentage is when you're the aggressive one speeding the ball up most games that you end up losing the point?
So we'll get a little controversial for normal pickleball, but you guys have probably heard me start yelling it recently. Aim for the body. I'm all on board with hitting someone. That's not that
That's my specialty.
We're not trying to actually hit them. We're not trying to hurt them, but we want to make them uncomfortable. If you speed up to the right area, it's a high success rate. But if you speed up off someone's body and you give them this nice forehand or backhand that they're just waiting for, and they get on top of the ball, it's very easy to lose it. I think there's a lot more into it than rather just that like speed up, win, loss. It's really what the intent is and like where that initial speed up, where that's pointed to, where it's aimed at.
Yeah, because the aim for the body could be also in that chicken wing area where they can't get to it. You're not saying aim for the body. Yesterday, I took one in the nuts. I took one. If you haven't seen, we'll probably have an overlay of the video of this.
2 to the twins is what I said.
I took a 2 to the nuts, and I went down. You would never see anybody go down before, but but it's.
Hey, but if you could accurately do that every time, and we're in a tournament for 10 grand, why wouldn't you?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. No, but at the same time,
Keep your paddle up.
Yeah.
Down at that.
I thought it was ready, man. I thought it was ready.
I never get mad when somebody body bags me. I'm thinking I should have my paddle up, or I should have played it different, or I shouldn't have popped that ball up.
With every sport, your target's a ball to a target. Like basketball, you're going for a hoop. In baseball, you're throwing to someone. So when we start playing pickleball, if you watch some games at a lower level, they're going to their paddle. That's what makes contact with the ball. So naturally, our mind just like we hit to someone's paddle where they aren't, but close enough to them to get the ball back, right? And it's a higher level where you begin to shift and not see that person where everything's intentional. So you start hitting to openings on the court. And think of like when someone's back. 2 people are back, 2 people are up. They have the entire court, but they are hitting so close to them. Nice little bounce in front of them. Even in drills, you'll notice people always hit deeper in drills. They don't give a bounce. They're always hitting to the person. So it's very easy to make that mistake in a game when you're not intentionally thinking about it and you're just kind of playing.
I always thought when you're going to come at somebody, you aim for either, if I'm going at a right-handed person, I'm trying to aim for basically right shoulder or right hip. Is that what you would say?
Shoulders and hips are solid spots. Also just chest, just anywhere center, just not off the body.
But at the same time, you're not saying just that's again, that's your primary shot. But when
neck and below is good.
Yeah. When somebody's leaving it up, take advantage of it, or you set yourself up from your prior shot to be able to get them in that uncomfortable position.
I mean, most people when they're playing think about shots and like last shot's their focus. Big thing is playmaking. And we don't hear people talk about that a lot in pickleball. But you set up your opportunities and it's not discussed enough. And I think that's a big.
Can you give us an example? Like what's something somebody for even all levels we can take away today?
So there's steps you do where you could test your opponents on a court, especially people you haven't played with. You hit to certain areas to see what happens. And then you come up with a plan based off that. So if we go cross-court dink to someone's back, and we notice they're rolling their wrist every time. They're not following through, and the ball's getting a little bit higher into the net. That's your goal. So how do you set that up? You want to get a cross-court dink, you have to hit to the opposite side of that person, hoping that ball comes back to you so you can then have that cross-court opportunity. If you just start ripping balls and then you wait, you're never going to get the opportunity. The longer the point goes on, the more opportunity you have to lose the point. So there's certain shots you place a ball somewhere where it makes sense for it to come back to a certain area to give you an opportunity to hit something you're looking for.
Your rest that you're talking about somebody's going underneath on their backhand,
more lift,
and that's going to leave them up for them to kind of just take it home. So then, are you more in favor then, since we're talking about that on a backhand dink? Are you in more kind of like a 2-hand backhand, or are you more?
No, shoulder. It's from your shoulder. It's not your wrist. Right?
Hinge at the shoulder.
So it's a hinge, and you come through. Even if you watch like Ben John's, like Tui or his back or his drop, he's not using his arm. Like his whole body will rotate. His hips rotate. His shoulder creates that uplift, but his arm is locked for his backhand drop from like the baseline. It's way less wrist on a lot of shots and like our arm and elbow than people think.
So a lot of people are more wristy and forgetting about the basic parts of the body.
It's the movement. Like what creates stability? Because your wrist moving, that's not consistent.
Yeah.
right? It's hard to stop it, but your hips rotating, your shoulder, your arm going up and down from your shoulder, you can build consistency from it. So use the parts of your body that are consistent, that can be replicated easily. And it's how a lot of our shows should be developed.
Everything starts with your lower body and not here.
Biggest thing is movement. Half the time I'll look pretty lazy when I'm on court moving, but then a few points down, I'll start moving a lot more. It's like significant difference when you actually move. And you'll see people outstretched because everything's with their arm. They're just reaching for everything when it takes one step more and they're in a great position. So movement and your lower body comes into play so much with pickleball.
One of our goals in the show is to build more players in the pickleball community, targeting newer players, getting them out on the court, getting them comfortable with like coming down and getting over their fear of stepping on a court for the first time. So we've been asking guests on the show, what would be the number one advice you'd give to a new player coming out to play pickleball for the first time?
Just find some good people that look like they're having fun. Honestly, I think that's where we all started, and we found out how fun pickleball could be. So just look for people smiling and having a good time, and be assertive. We're all out here playing, and it's hard for us to notice people coming out or new people, but the community as a whole is super welcoming. But it just takes someone a little prompt. If you see people playing, don't be afraid to be, hey, you guys mind if I join, or I'm a new player? Ask, and you'll find good people who will welcome you and make you have a great experience.
What would you say at all the places that you've played at in our area is one of the places that you think is the most inclusive for people to come and play for the first time and get into games?
I think all our parks, Halpat's really nice, and Whispering Pines is really nice, but it does take that prompting. You just have to be a little assertive, and it'll go so far. We don't know when we're on court and playing, we don't notice that person watching all the time. We don't notice, like, we have paddles up where we want to play, right? So we're just so anxious to get on court. Sometimes it's hard to see that person who's been standing there but not knowing what to do. But with just be a little bit assertive, just ask a question, ask someone who's sitting, ask someone who's standing, and everyone will take care of everything.
Yeah, maybe something as simple as, hey, excuse me, do you know where new people go to play? And
What do
somebody
I
would
do?
probably invite you in.
That's it.
I've been playing for probably about a year longer than my wife, and I was begging her to play with me in the beginning. She didn't want to play, and then finally I got her out there, and we'd go to Halpat, and she would come, and we would play a couple games together, and then we'd split up and stuff, and I'd walk over, and she's just sitting on the bench there, and what are you doing? She's like, waiting to play, and no one's going to know with you sitting on the bench there that you want to play. Stand up at least and peer into other courts or walk around or look interested, because if you sit there, odds are, unless somebody needs a fourth just by chance, they're not going to walk up and, oh, are you looking to play pickleball today? You got to insert yourself into it, a little
absolutely.
bit.
And it'll go a long way. It's intimidating though. You come out, you haven't played, you look at everyone on court playing, whether they're playing or right, you have no idea what they're doing. And people, especially here, we have a few challenge courts, but we don't have the easiest access to the court. So it looks like these groups are just kind of formed and people are sitting there. But that simple question of, hey, what do I do? Or how do I get a game?
Ask for directions when you're lost. Yeah, makes sense.
Everyone, mostly everyone will help. It'll be a good experience.
Well, you also run a lot of clinics for newcomers too. And I've seen you with newcomers, and you have a gift because you explain it so well. It's easy for somebody to understand. And a lot of people coach, but a lot of people coach once you get to a certain level. Is there more of a preference that you have, or is it kind of all levels that you like to coach?
Yeah, no, all levels.
What's the biggest factor in somebody having a coach that they need to have?
So you reach a certain level and you have a style of play. And what makes pickleball difficult, and my coaching style, is you can't change how someone plays. So you're looking for body mechanics or specific things that just kind of embrace everyone to give ideas on. But coaching a high level, you don't coach, you drill. Someone's out there, hey, let's fine tune this technique, but we're just going to drill. And drilling's great, but I like to drill for my own play. So those higher levels, it's not so much coaching or shot development, it's drilling. You should have all the basics. The fundamentals are down. You have your spin, everything. It's when to implement this strategy. Strategy is a whole different subject, which I love to talk about strategy, the playmaking. But with beginners, there's a joy. You see someone who has no knowledge, And then you start seeing light bulbs go off and things click, or they actually get better at a shot significantly through coaching. And so I think the most rewarded coaching do is with beginners or people who want to learn something, because you see that happiness and that joy they get when it clicks or when they develop a new skill. And that's the big difference. And I remember when I started, I had no freaking clue what I was doing. I read USAP, download the rule book, read through it, and
Pickleball for dummies.
yeah,
right?
legitimate. Pickleball for dummies wasn't even a thing yet. But me and my buddy Kevin, like, we just came out, we read it. Anything I found, I sent to him, and like, we just acted. We knew for the most part. I mean, acting, I knew, got people involved. And then I actually did learn. Then I went, I got a sponsorship and I got certified for teaching and started doing all that. And it's just grown from there. But initially, like, I was just happy to be out here and having people to play with. And like, if you just know the gist of it, it goes a long way. But like seeing everyone start playing, and some of these people that I play with today that are on some of our teams, they're the people first met when I came out, or they came out, and like stories we have of like, I remember when I first met you and we first played pickleball together. You were the first week I ever started playing, stuff like that. It's just so rewarding.
Funny, real quick, as you're saying this, I'm just watching this big ass smile, bro. Natural smile. Not doing a podcast, let me fake this smile, but this, and I played with you. We've had some fun games with you and Michael and Josh and I, and I never really knew you before, but once we got on the court, right, taking that initiative, getting into that game, I was intimidated because here comes, how tall are you?
6'1".
6'1"? And then Michael's like 7'9". No, how,
I think he's like 6'6".
He's like 6'6", right? I'm just looking up going, holy shit. But it was like,
Do not lob to him.
yeah, I tried, and Josh looked at me like, what are you doing? Why the hell are you lobbing to, and it was great games. It was fun, but that you talk about, right? And that's one thing we harp each week is, of the game, it's fun, but also when you're talking about seeing somebody as you're coaching a newcomer, you see, I'm sure for you to see that transformation, to see that growth from where they were here, kind of how they go up to there. And for you, and you did not see a person of, hey, I'm ego or whatever, but inside there's a good ego that makes you feel good. I'm sure it gives you some kind of satisfaction that, hey, I've been part of this journey.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's what happened for me. I was very, very fortunate when I started playing. Joey Farias was local. He's a pro and he teaches and he travels the world teaching. And he was local to Port St. Lucie, and I became close friends with him. And he taught me a lot. So those opportunities were given to me. And it's crazy so pet peeve of mine, but people come out to a court and someone won't play with them because they're not a certain level. It blows my mind. Pickleball is all about, to me, inclusivity. Everyone,
Yes.
we all sucked at some point. And there was someone who like took a chance or who just said, yeah, come play. And this idea that you have to play better people to get better, I think it's if you want to play lower level frustrates me more because there's no consistency. You're constantly on your feet. You're constantly trying to figure out what to do because what lower level players do doesn't make sense. And it's so good for your mental game because you have to be super aware. You have to look at body position, paddle position. You have to watch all that so much more than some higher level games where you're like, oh, this is a high percent shot. This is where I should be. This makes sense. And that's what happens. Or practice your backhand. If you're that good, practice your backhand the entire time. Run around every single ball making a backhand against lower level players because they're playing slow. There's so many things you could do. And that's one of the things that really irks me is when people come out and they won't be able to get on the court because their play level or their skill level.
Yeah. I came from racquetball. I played racquetball before this, and the barrier for entry on that I felt like was greater because you're in a basement of like a gym. There's 4 courts. They're closed in completely. It's a glass or a wall with a window. Pickleball at least gives you the opportunity to look through a fence or trying to make eye contact. So the barrier for entry is lower. Just get back to our beginners out there. Like if you're looking to play, you don't know how to get started, you don't know anybody at the courts, feel free to contact us too. We set up beginner sessions. Big Dill runs beginner sessions. We've done a couple at Halpat just for fun. Like anyone want to come down and kind of learn the basics, reach out. We're happy to set up a group and get new players on the court in a group setting. At least you'll be amongst other people that are out there for the first few times or whatever, feeling uncomfortable, and you won't be the only one. So you feel like you're kind of breaking into the sport by yourself.
Yeah. And ask questions because that was for me. I've always talked about, and I always give praise to Lloyd. is because he was, on the court, we were playing and I was watching stuff and my game was getting good. But then as I started to play against higher level players, I was regressing because I thought I was at this level and every shot that I hit, they just kept back on me. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And then it's like playmaking that you talked about and asking questions. You can't keep what you have unless you give it away. And so it goes back to, like you said, if you're a higher level player, okay, great. Yeah. Look for those games to play against higher level players. Not just that though, get out there, bring a newcomer in because for everybody, all inclusive, you're able to work on that TUI that you're trying to work on. At the same time, you're watching their shot and you might just say, hey, listen, I've said it to people. Are you open to a suggestion? And if they're like, yeah, you can feel when people are receptive.
Yeah.
And if they're not, okay, whatever. That's their fault because they're going to be at that level the whole entire time. Being that one question, being open to drilling, my game got better. Since my game got better, I came to the courts more and played more and more. And then I met great people. And then you start to really learn, not that it's just a sport, but it's a whole entire community as well.
Exactly. And that's what these parks like are public parks. That's what it's about. Like, this was built for the community and everyone should feel welcome when they come out. And I think overall, we do a great job here at Whispering Pines doing that.
Yeah, I said in our last episode, and I'll say it again, like to me, pickleball is not just about the game, it's an experience. It's the whole package. It's not just the game, it's community, it's friendship, it's
What
shooting the shit.
sport can you see a son, a father, and a grandfather on the same court playing?
Yeah.
And depending on the skill level, competitively playing.
Right,
It's
yeah.
not even a huge discrepancy, especially if they're all new. Pickleball transcends a lot of the issues and difficulties that other sports present to make it a social sport. It's become more and more competitive, but pickleball at the end of the day is like just a social experience. It's such a fun thing to do, and anyone can be involved in it in some aspect.
We were, what's the craziest thing you've ever seen on a pickleball court?
It's very embarrassing. I went to Naples, that Veterans Community Park over there, playing on their higher level courts, and like seniors were there for a tournament, then played against them. I'm like feeling good, like winning all the games, go out, and I think they were 75, 78, a mixed doubles game. And they just smoked us, wiped us. Again, it was humbling. That's probably the craziest thing is losses you would never think are going to be a loss. And you realize there's so much more to this game. And that was a few years ago when I was like first started. So I was very, oh my God, yeah, everything. And now I've obviously learned you can't judge a book by its cover. Those are the craziest moments when you feel so good about something and you are so confident by looks what's going to happen. And then you go out there and it's just not what you expect. And you realize how important like skill and like placement is. You can watch people who shouldn't have any business on a court be on a court and they place their ball so well, they never have to move. Because when they walk off the court, they're getting a cane or they are like, they can't move, but they're on the court, they place their balls and they do so well at it that it works for them and they're winning games. So I think that's the wildest. That's probably the craziest part of it. Watching moments like that.
What suggestions and tips and pointers for them wanting to go from that 3-5, 4-4-5? What do they need to do?
I'd say slow their game down, especially 3-5. Start there, 3-5. Everything's developed. You have the fundamentals. You have to start recognizing the court. It's not just hitting the ball. You hit all your shots good and you're getting points. Points are still caused by errors from the other team a lot at that level, not necessarily winning shots. It's time to start viewing the court and the playmaking and that strategy. The sooner people start recognizing opportunities or creating them, the better they're going to become. And it's not the last shot. All those people, someone pops a ball up, someone smashes a ball, and they're like, oh, great shot. We all would have done the same thing, smash, except for when I'll go for one and whiff on it. But it's the shot before. What'd you do? What caused the pop? When we don't focus enough on the shots prior to the end.
It's a series of shots, really. It's not the put away.
Partner getting
how'd you get to that
like your
point?
partner missing a ball and they're like, sorry, but you just sped up cross court. You caused your partner to miss that ball. Why are you speeding up cross court? The ball's going back at your partner, not you. It's recognizing those things and then developing a play that works effectively for doubles or singles or whatever the case is. But I think the 3-5, that's where you start thinking of the strategy. 4-0, drill. Drill. Like you want to get better, drill.
It's a good point. You were talking earlier about the how your lesson strategy would be to drill with people that you're training. And I've taken several lessons before, and my thing was I don't have a whole lot of time. We got kids in sports, we got this, we got that going on. I would go take a lesson, I would learn this skill, and then I would take another lesson the next week and learn a different skill. But I'm not
Just play in
practicing that.
between. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, dedicating that hour and a lesson to drilling is probably more effective than just learning the skill and doing nothing with it for the next week until you've forgotten it.
If you're not practicing, it's not going to be beneficial. It is a waste of that player's time. It's a waste of my time. And drilling a shot, like consistency, muscle memory, building all that is what's important. Come out, practice your serve. You can develop a serve and you can practice in a half hour. You'll hit 5 times at a low level, 5 times more than you'll hit in a game. And if you make a mistake in a game, it's one and done.
Yeah.
So it's maybe 3 more, 6 more.
Yep.
People are scoring points, 8, 9 more rallies until you get to serve again. By the time the serve comes back to you, you have forgotten what your mistake was. You go to do the same serve and you make the same mistake and you're like, oh, now I remember. But then it's the same cycle. Comes back to you and you're like, I don't know what it was, but I'm just going to lob this in there. And when we drill, and even drilling, people will like play out a point and I'll stop them right away. We're not playing out a point. If we're working on a third shot, hit the third shot. It doesn't matter if it went over. There's no fourth and fifth. We're getting to this point. We hit it. We stop. We reset. We go again. That's the proper way to drill. And that's how you build that consistency. And that's how you get good at whatever you're practicing.
What about recording? When I record, I go back and I watch it, and the playmaking, the strategy, I just cut my partner off. And I'm seeing now when I go play, the game slows down.
You want to be embarrassed on how you play pickleball, record yourself playing pickleball.
Yeah.
What we think we're doing is not what we're doing. And it's some of the most humbling thing you can do, record your games. But it exposes weaknesses. Without knowing what we're weak at, without knowing what we're doing wrong, we can't get better. So it's a very, very good thing to do.
So Big Dill in 2019 came to be, right?
Yep.
We've talked in the past about could we collaborate one day? What would we do? And what I thought was interesting when we spoke is your motive is not money or anything financial related. It's I want to build a better pickleball community. I want to get people engaged. I want newcomers coming to the courts. And what's your vision for the future moving forward with Big Dill?
Sky's the limit. No, I this year I definitely, my teams are established. I'm having a lot of fun doing that. I'm personally going to be playing more this year, more tournaments, more on court time for myself, more drilling for myself. But as far as the community goes, been approached by a few nonprofits. I think like just some fundraiser tournaments is really awesome to do. I want to do more of those like free clinics to just get people comfortable and out here on the court. I'm doing like launching a certification program for some more instructors with similar mindsets of mine. And I think we'll just be out here present, maybe more so than I have been last year, and just be more available to the community. The city, I work with the city now. We have a program coming up at Mid-Florida, but basically for beginner intermediate. And I'm just doing more stuff with the city, more for the community.
Is that program at Mid-Florida, would that be good for somebody who's never picked up a paddle before, that kind of beginner, or somebody who's played
a little bit, someone who hasn't, because the program is going to be 6-week drill and ladder league. So the first part of the class will be shot structure, like building from serve through a point. And then the second half will be actual games for like ladder league with a point system, and we'll have winners at the end. But regardless, it's fun.
That's cool. You get to learn the skill, and then your graduation, you'll get to play it out and kind of see how it all comes into play and stuff.
So can I, and if you'll accept it, because I talked to you once before about instructing, because I really enjoy it. Right? I would love to be able to make a commitment, if you accept it, that in 2026, I will get certified.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right. Will you hold me accountable?
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Yes.
All right. So everybody watching right here, I am going to get certified in 2026. Honey, if you're watching it, disregard what I just said, because I know it's another thing involving pickleball. So erase. But I am making that commitment right now.
I'm so close. I just finished my online class. I just got to take the test. I'm close. I just got to take the test. I'm almost there. How many people have you trained throughout the years?
I was thinking about that actually before coming here. I was trying to put to hours or people. I've been instructing since 2021. I mean, the easy answer is hundreds. A more accurate answer, I have no idea. But I've had some of the places I teach at, like Riverland. I've been there every week for the past 5 years, doing multiple classes each week. And then private instruction, then the park, like just a ton. So, uh, hundreds. I don't know what that number is. Probably 300, 400. Most of them that I've kept in touch with are still playing, and they're still succeeding, and they're still playing tournaments, and they're still just happy with pickleball, which from my perspective, that's the biggest thing I could want. So all the students have had an impact on me.
What would be some advice you'd give to two couples playing together on a court?
Don't.
It's good for a relationship if you don't do it, right?
This is for anyone who plays together, but especially couples. There's no coaching on the court. Right?
Uh,
Play your game. You both know how each other play. Go out and play. Have a conversation at home the next morning about what we could maybe do different. There's so much pressure we put on ourselves to play well when you are with your partner and then your pickleball partner, and you feel you're failing already. It takes that one look or that one comment where you feel it's directed to you for that weight you're already carrying to become monumental. So those ideas of like, oh, do this instead, hold your pat, don't do it during a game. And that's for everyone. You tell someone what to do during a game, that's all they're going to focus on. Everything else is going to fall apart. Like, people ask me all the time, oh, give me tips during the game. I'll talk to you after. Like, I'll lay whatever you want after. During it's the wrong time. But especially if you're in a relationship with someone, the court, the park, in between games, it's the wrong time. Keep the looks, be so mindful of your looks, because that's what makes like the game fall apart. Just uplifting, have the fun you're looking for, and talk about it at some other time.
Yeah, that's some solid advice. So if you're looking to improve your third shot drop or your marriage, Blake's got you covered. If you could send one message to the pickleball community, what would it be?
Oh man, the whole community.
Pressure's on.
Just have fun. It's not that serious. And if you're making a career out of it, it is serious. Treat it like you would your career. But for the majority of people, have fun. Once you forget to have fun, that's when everything goes to shit. Just enjoy it and have fun. And it's okay to change who you play with. It's okay to not play with people. If you're not finding joy in it, don't just do it because you've done it before. Change who you play with, find new players, travel, do different things, but just don't lose the joy in pickleball. That's what brought us all to it, and that's what got us all started. That's important to keep that.
One thing we like to do in the show is we'll do a quick five question lightning round. So I'm just going to shoot out 5 quick questions, just top of your head. What comes to your mind first? So what's your favorite paddle?
The Yola Perseus.
Childhood idol?
Chipper Jones. All my pets when I was growing up named Chip.
Oh, I had a dog named Chip too, but we named him after poker.
Okay.
Yeah. Favorite sports team?
New Zealand All Blacks.
I've been bugging Blake for the longest time that one day we were going to do a jersey exchange. Today is the day.
Stand up for it.
There we go.
All right.
I brought Blake a Thinking Dog shirt. He gave me a big Dill. I got to get him to sign this.
We're putting it on. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Let's do it.
We're doing that.
Here we go.
This is first ever.
Well, we're going to get to see him in another shirt.
Yeah. I don't think this has ever happened before.
Thank you. I'm very excited for my new shirt.
It's been, for me, and I say this every episode, this is why I love doing it. I've got to know you before the show. I feel I know you even more now, and you are just a breath of just enjoyment, excitement, amazing energy that I'm grateful that I've been able to get a chance to know you more now. And I look forward to developing that friendship and one day kicking your ass on the pickleball court.
Right. Family driven, a family man, get about his daughter and when in terms of coach, people's experience better on the court. This could be their first time out there, make them have a good experience because it could be their last if you don't, right? Don't lose the joy. Remember why you got out on the court and what the reason was, your motive for playing, and make sure that you keep that. Consistency and repetition is key. You got to keep practicing those skills and just look for people that are having fun out there, right? Because those are the people that you want to be surrounding yourself with.
Absolutely. Blake, what do you want to leave the audience with as you wrap up here?
Well, I want to actually go back to you guys and thank you guys for what you've started doing. It's something that's been lacking in this area, in this community. So you guys are bringing a lot of positive attention to pickleball and some of the people here and what's going on and what we have going on Treasure Coast. So very thankful for you guys. Love what you're doing and keep it up, and let's all just keep doing what we're doing.
Awesome. Well, Rob, how do we
Thank
take
you.
us out?
We appreciate you guys watching the podcast. I'm Rob, aka the Dog Father, the Dog and Pizzle.
I'm Pizzle.
Peace out. Thank you to our guest Blake for joining us today.
I want